Graduated, elevated, now it's my time to shine, yeah, let's go. Graduated, elevated, now it's my time to shine, yeah, let's go. Major moves, power moves.
So I guess in regards to the next question, and thank you so much for your response, is, when it comes to publishing, we're all under pressure to publish when we're, working on our research. And you were working on an amazing business idea, getting all these things done at the same time. You had your Viva, so much was going on. So we know, and we've seen on Twitter, some people, they feel like it's too much for a research student. It's actually a lot to ask. What's your take on that? And what advice do you have for somebody that thinks, do you know what, this is too much. I want to go into industry because I didn't know that there was so much red tape, legal. There's so much, to publish, work on a business idea, recruit people, etc., etc. What's your advice?
Um, Mine was a little bit of an unconventional PhD. Not all PhDs have to do that, of course, but I would really say that, that publish or perish idea, that most academics have, it propagates because of your professor, right? Your advisor eventually. And if you're stuck with an advisor that expects you to publish a certain amount before you get your PhD, I would tell you, like, try your best, to get to that stage, but also lower down your, and, talk to your supervisor and be like, I think I've done enough. And I think I've come to a point wherein whatever I could publish, I've published, and I want to move on, with my life. And that is one thing that they can do. People who have supportive advisors, their advisors would tell you, and well, this is my personal advice also, chase after a good thesis, something that you're proud of. And sometimes it translates into publication, sometimes it doesn't. It depends. As long as you look at that, your thesis and go like, yeah, this is something I wanted to get done, as they say, in at least in my line of work, is a good thesis is a done thesis. That's it.
Love it.
Yeah, and just get that done, and think about your future and move on, because sometimes you stay there for like 5 to 6 years, which is a minimum, at least in the United States, and you can get frustrated. You have like a lot of things you're dealing with, and life can get to you. It's true, right? And so if you see a way wherein you're like, okay, I think I've done enough, you will get that, eventually in your PhD, you will end up with that particular sentence which will keep nagging at you and be like, I think I've done enough. So go to your advisor and be like, I think this is enough. I've done enough. And I think I need to move on with my life. And yeah, publishing right now is like such a hard landscape, right? Anything can happen with a paper. And most of the time, it's hard to take those rejections, because you associate it with like a failure of your own self. Though it's not, it's never your personal failure. It's just something, that has a time, that needs to find a place, a home. And which journal is that home? For that, you have to go through like so many different journals sometimes, which takes time. It can take a year sometimes, or even more. So it's a hard thing to do. So just something that you've done, you're over with, and then you move on. And that's how it's gotta be.
I love that response. So thank you so much. And in terms of the next question, it's in regards to relocation. I've had, I wouldn't say it's an influx, but I've had a number of questions which are quite similar, which is individuals in certain countries saying, I want to apply for a PhD, let's say in the US, because it will help my family. I may be able to pick up, some shifts and be able to educate my siblings so that they've got a better and brighter future. But then I've also had people on PhD Hard Talk say, why go to the US or the UK or, the Netherlands to study when you can essentially go to a home university and study and be a doctor there and then go on to other institutions globally. What's your advice? Because you're based in the US, so I'm not sure what pushed you to apply to go to the US from India. Could you help us with that?
Honestly, it depends upon your situations and your personal, whatever it is that you want to achieve, like, when it comes to professional and personal goals.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I had a supportive family. So they were like, okay, I was getting a fellowship for a master's. And when I got that fellowship from India, my family was like, you should go, you should take it. I didn't want to come here to United States, honestly. I got a job in India after my undergraduate degree, and I was like, I'm more than happy with it. But my family knew I always wanted to do research. So they said, you're getting a fellowship, you should go. Because my family, I'm not from a well-to-do off family. When I got that fellowship based off of merit, I thought to myself, okay, let me take it. This might, let's see what it turns out to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I got recruited into my fully funded PhD. So it depends upon what your professional and personal goals are. If you really think that, your life can do much better, going to a foreign country like United States or United Kingdom, whatever it is, then do definitely take up those opportunities, work hard for it. If you think, oh, education in your country, fulfills your eventual goals, and I know some people have a lot of familial responsibilities and, a lot of like personal things that they have to attend to, then you can achieve the same goals in your own country. You can study there. And then eventually, if you think, oh, professionally, I'm going to grow more somewhere else, then there's always opportunities. If you search hard enough for it, there's opportunities everywhere. It's just that it takes like the patience, the perseverance, and the hard work that goes behind it. And that you've just got to keep at it no matter what.
I love that. Thank you very much. And I guess that the next question, which is rejection, which you've touched on there, is, as you know, when you apply in, you get a lot of rejection. I don't know if you experienced it, but some of us have experienced a lot of rejection. And you've touched on it with the publications as well to say, it's not your fault, it's just the system. And sometimes
Yeah.
your work is amazing, but it's not right at the right time. You're
Yeah,
too
it's
early.
true.
So what's your advice for somebody who's received a lot of rejection and they're at a point whereby they're giving up, when you've got nothing left in you, they're there? What's your advice?
This has helped me quite a lot. I have to keep reminding myself that it's not me. No one is rejecting me. Who I am as a person, what I represent, what I signify to the world. They're rejecting either an idea of me that I put out on paper, which might be, when it comes to admissions, which might be a little bit less than, whatever is the other people that they get in. A lot of circumstances, a lot of, other things go into it. Or they're just rejecting something that doesn't fit into their space right now. That's all. But never, ever, and we really have to constantly remind ourselves that of that is never take it personal. It's not you. No one is rejecting you, and you are worth it no matter what. That's the the goal that you need to have. Sure, you got rejected at a lot of places, which is fine, but there's always a place and always the right time for something. It just takes a little bit more time and a little bit more hard work to get there. And I know this is easy to say, I've experienced this myself, when I've been at a point where I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I'm getting rejected everywhere. And I know it's easy for me to say because things are working out well for me right now. But for people that are in that headspace right now, right, Take a few days off. Don't do anything, reassess, think about, do something that you love, go out, have fun, meet your family and friends, and then come back to it with a fresh mind. Remind yourself of the fact that no one is rejecting you, no
Mm.
matter, okay, and try for the next thing that you have on your plate.
Thank you so much. I think that is very good for people who haven't experienced rejection before. You know, like some people, their lives are really, really good. Like they've never had a no in their life. And then they get to a point where they start publishing and it's no. And they don't know how to deal with that. So thank you so much for sharing. And some people as well with the applications, you know, where people just ghost you.
Yeah, they
You spent 10 hours typing all this information and then it's dead, it's silent. So I think it's really beneficial whichever way you look at it in regards to your responses there. And I guess the last question is, I contacted you and I thought, you know what, I love her research. I see where she is. What made you say yes? And do you think PhD hard talk is actually beneficial, or do you think, do you know what, Norma, call it a day? It's not working.
I actually, after you contacted me, I went to YouTube and I saw a few of your videos. And honestly speaking, I wasn't aware that there was a PhD talk series anywhere. And I was so
Yeah.
glad to see that at least someone is trying to get these like hard questions out there. Because let's be honest, most of us might be first generation students getting a PhD. We have no one to advise us, no one to mentor us. So hearing from other people who either have a PhD, are in the process, or are just done with it, is it. I personally think it would be like really great for whoever wants to go into this field, right? It's just
Mhm.
sometimes no one talks the nuances of the field. Everybody says, oh, it's academia. It's supposed to be this way. No, it's not. You're a human, you're a person. If you want to be mentored, you need to have some guidance for it, right? You're not supposed to be a know-it-all. No one is, and you're not supposed to figure out everything on by yourself. You need help.
Mhm.
Honestly, when I saw that, I was like really surprised and really happy. And that's why I wanted to thank you for letting me on here, because it's great to have, things like these go on, wherein people get at least one, different views of this degree. And it's important, according to me.
No, thank you so much. And, you know, like you said, if you're first generation, you don't really have anyone to talk to that can relate
Yeah.
to what you're going through. And sometimes you're going through something, but you don't know what it is. You can't pinpoint it. And I mean, I learn a lot from, the guests. And, I've learned something today in regards to business and also mixing business with the university. That's something that I've never thought of. And
Yeah.
now I have a little thought there. And then my little brain is doing a lot of things at the back as well. But that's something new that I would have never thought of, because it's a quicker way to get funding, really, because they're a reputable brand. So who's going to say no?
Yeah, no, that's true. You have something, you put it out there. What's the worst that can happen, Noma? Someone is going to say no. That's it. You move on.
Literally. And I guess I'm going to ask you for a little pitch, because I know you're good with pitches. For women in research, let's put it that way, because then it's a wider net, isn't it? It's not really limiting. What advice do you have for them? Something that is key that you think, do you know what, it will take them from here to like there.
Or women in STEM.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that, women in STEM gotta do is, walk into the room, wear that dress, wear that shirt that you've been hanging in your closet no matter what, wear that jewelry, the hairstyle, do that makeup, do whatever it is that we want to do. Walk into that room, okay, go up to whoever you want to talk to and talk. Because that's, we are women. We can do everything if we set our mind to it. So you got to go with that mindset, be that fearless woman that you want to be.
I love that, but I could hear Jordan Pearson. Is it Peterson? Red lipstick. Your hair. What are you selling?
I am selling everything.
I could literally hear him. No, I guess in summary, you're just stating that, wear your confidence with pride,
With
but
pride.
don't be too high up because, falling down as well. You have to come back up.
No, but be confident. Like no
Yeah.
one, be proud of where you've come from and where you are, and be confident, and that's it. Wear it like an armor, walk into the room and, show people that you're around, you're present.
I will take that. So thank you very much, Dr. Shristi Singh. So remember, if you do want to get in contact with Dr. Shristi Singh, all the details there at the bottom. Remember, it's hashtag project dissemination to the world and hashtag sustainable knowledge to the world. I guess the key learnings from this conversation that we've both taken is wear your confidence like a glove. Oh, it just paused then.
Oh, sorry.
You need to count that in. Sorry. I guess the key learnings that we'll take away from this is wear your confidence like a glove and communicate effectively, have a voice, and wear that outfit, the outfit that gives you confidence for you to walk like you've arrived, like you're here and you are Dr. So-and-so, or you're just Noma Mguni. This is an example, wear that outfit and be able to articulate your research because it is all about you and people do want to hear what you are saying and where you've come from and where you're going, which goes back to planning, project planning, as you know, and read the paperwork. The law is important. Understand the contract. Please ensure that you've read and you know what you're signing up for. And on that note, thank you so much for your time and thank you for your knowledge, your expertise, and your time as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on here.